Hello guys, so let me talk about the one-win application. So this is the one-win application, which is actually the modified version of Goldsvet, where they added the spots. Okay, you can see have the spots. Many people have asked me previously to customize this application for them, but then the problem with this application is that the source code files were deleted. So to the non-programmers, you can program an application and then you compile the JavaScript code, and then once the JavaScript code is compiled, you can delete the rest of the code. So for example, if we go to the JS folder in the resources, there's nothing JavaScript there, but then if you go to the public directory inside the JS, you find there are JSX files here. So this means that this application was programmed with React JS. You can see the pages, we have the code here, but this is the compiled code. So the compiled code you cannot edit. You cannot edit, for example, these components to know because you don't have the source code that you can edit. So that is the problem with this version of one-win. They deleted the source code for the front-end functionality. But let's say in case you have the critical functionalities that you like to add, how do you go about it? So for example, this button, if you click this button, we have these methods. Let's say you would like to replace these methods. How do you do that? Now you cannot edit the code. Let me just repeat that point. You cannot edit the source code, meaning that you cannot go to the source code and find this button and maybe edit it, because that source code was deleted. But then there is a way out using JavaScript, because when this button is clicked, there is an event. There is what you call a click event in JavaScript. So when this button is clicked, a click event is fired, and you can intercept that click event and then redirect to another page. So what happens? Let's say we want to customize this button, so that when somebody clicks, you want to change the payment method. So you cannot change this directly because the source code was deleted. You can't find it and change it. So what you do is you observe the click event. So when somebody clicks this button, there is a click event that is fired, and then you can intercept that click event and direct that person to another page that you need to create. So let me show you as an example. We want to show different model than this. So this is the code. First we check the button. We check that button. Alright, so this button, you realize that they are different. So this is the desktop version of the button, and if you minimize the page, you go to mobile version, you find that these are different buttons. So what do we do to do that? We check the screen size of the device, and if it is this, we select the relevant class. And then we want to select that exact button, because you have many buttons in the class of success. So we just want the one that has the text of deposit, and we get that button. So once you get that button, you can right away redirect to another page. But then you find that if that button is not changed, you find that it's going to still, you cannot change the function. When you click it, is going to still show the that model. It's called model. So what we want to do is to find that button, and once we find that button, we create a new button and replace it. So we are creating a new button with the ID of deposit button, and then we replace that button. You can see button.parent.replace child. So we are replacing that button. This is JavaScript. So once you have replaced that button, we now attach the click event to that new button that you have created. So we attach the click event, so that when somebody clicks on that button, then what do? we redirect to a new page that we like to show payment methods. Now that means that every time the page loads, before I show you, that means that every time the page loads, this button is replaced with the new button, but you have to style that button exactly the same so that somebody will not realize that it is a different button. But this is basically a different button. It is being changed every time the page loads, because you cannot just edit the same button, and you cannot select the same button because that button is, we have a click event that is attached, that when it is clicked it shows that previous model. So what happens, we click on it, it takes us to a different page, right? So this is the page that it takes us, and this page is the custom page that you've created where you want to show the different payment methods, and then you can implement the functionality for maybe the payment functionality for somebody selecting the whatever payment method and then entering the amount and completing the payment. And then so once that is implemented, if you click on this button, it opens a new page where you can display the payment method, for example this, and then you can choose the amount. Somebody can choose the amount they would like to pay, and they click on pay. You can show probably the details, and then you can complete the payment. So basically that is that view will be different based on the customization that you like to add. So only a few things can be customized on OneWin because we don't have the source code. I don't know if there is a version where they give you the source code to edit, but this one they don't give you the source code to edit. There are things you cannot edit. For example, this you can edit using the same method, but it will be complex. For example, these the events like the sports data, you can edit that, but it will be complex. It will take time, but it will take a lot of time that you better just maybe write your own interface.